Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Verse 1, let's read together.
1 Kings 2 verse 1. When the time drew near for David to die, he gave a child to Solomon his son. Verse 2. I am about to go the way of all the earth. He said, so be strong, show yourself a man, and observe what the Lord your God requires. Walk in his ways and keep his decrees and commandments, his laws and requirements as written in the law of Moses, so that you may prosper in all you do and wherever you go. And that the Lord may keep his promise to me, if your descendants watch how they live, and if they walk faithfully before me with all their hearts, and so you will never fail to have a man on the throne of Israel. Verse 5. Now you yourself know what Joab son of Zeruiah did to me, what he did to the two commanders of Israel's armies.
Now you yourself know what Joab, the king of who?
The king of Zerah, the son of Zerah.
He's taking the son of Zerah, yes.
Did to me.
Did to me.
What he did to the two commanders of Israel and Israel's armies.
What he did to the two commanders of Israel's armies.
Abner son of Ner.
Abner son of Ner.
And Amasa son of Jetha.
And Amasa son of Jetha.
He killed them, shedding their blood in peacetime as if in battle.
He killed them, shedding their blood in this time as if in battles.
And with that blood stained the belt round his waist.
That blood used to stain his own belt. The priest, the son of that king, used the blood to stain his own belt
and the sandals
around his waist. And the sandals of what?
The sandals of his feet.
And the sandals of his feet. Meaning he used the blood to clean his sandals. Okay?
Verse 6.
Verse 6.
Deal with him according to your wisdom.
Deal with him according to your wisdom.
But do not let his grey hair go down to the grave in peace.
Do not let his grey hair go down to the grave in peace.
But show kindness to the sons of Basil.
Show kindness to the sons of Basil.
Of Gilead.
And
let them be among those who eat at your table.
And let them be among those who eat at your table.
They stood by me when I fled from your brother Absalom.
They stood by me when I ran from Absalom.
And remember,
you know Absalom, the first son of the King David. Okay.
And remember, you have with you Shimei, son of Gera.
Okay.
The Benjamite from Beroim.
Okay.
Who called down bitter curses on me the day I went to Mahanaim. When he came down to meet me at Jordan, I said to him by the Lord, I will not put you to death by the sword. But now do not consider him innocent. You are a man of wisdom.
Listen, do not consider who?
Him innocent.
Do not consider that man innocent. He's never innocent. He has a plan. I swore to him not to kill him. I made a vow to him not to touch him. But now is now your turn. Do to him that pleases you. Do to him that pleases you as a man of wisdom. Okay?
You will know what to do to him.
You will know what to do to him.
Bring his grey hair down to the grave in blood.
Bring his grey hairs down to the grave in blood. Don't let him die in peace. Don't let him die in peace. Make sure he doesn't die in peace. Make sure, David, Solomon, make sure. Why? Read for me.
Verse 10.
Verse 10.
Then David rested with his father and was buried in the city of David.
Verse 10, David died and rest in peace. I bring the topic to you this morning and I say, I refuse to pass the same road my father passed. I refuse to pass the same road that my father's father passed. I also start with this topic since on Sunday, but because of the assignment on our hands, I turned down the topic and I put it down on Wednesdays. What is road? Road means a passable place, a transparent place, a linkable place, a direction to somewhere. That's a road. A direction to somewhere, a link to something. If there is no road from here to Ole, nobody will go to Ole. True of us. True of us. So there is a link to Ole. A direction to Ole. A passable place. Somewhere that you can pass easily. In this morning's service, I will want to teach more and drop prophecy. And I want you to look at me and listen carefully. Gaze at me like a man who is hungry to eat. When someone is hungry to eat and food is in the fire, he doesn't go to sleep. When he knows he's not the one cooking it. And he knows if he sleeps, before he wake up, what has happened to the food? They must have shared the food and eat it up. True of us. So what will he do? He will be looking at the food. He can tell you how many mangi they put inside that food. He will make sure he takes his time to wait. When he has finished that assignment of food, he will not do any other thing or go and rest. I refuse to pass the same road my father passed through. Child of God, in this morning service, I came to open our eyes. I came to open our hearts towards a direction which nobody wants to pay attention to. Yet this child of God, it takes a wise man to understand that there is a way that is passable. That is always a way to fathers. If you listen to Jesus, he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. L-I-F-E. When there is a way, there is a source. For no one cometh to the Father, meaning you go to him except through me. When you see a child, a man or a woman, the first thing that comes into your mindset is, when you see some characters of that child, you say, this look like the son of Benjamin. True of us. Some child might not resemble their father, but their behavior resemble their father. They can't easily switch them out. I refuse to pass the way of my father. I refuse. Without wasting much time, I want to talk about one of the ways I came to talk here, and that's where we read from this morning. One of the ways I refused, and David Solomon refused to pass through, was the ways of betrayal. Come on, say the ways of betrayal. I can hear it loud and clear. Say the ways of betrayal. You didn't say it loud and clear. You said the ways of betrayal. Hear this, child of God. Betrayal is always common among my generation. Betrayal is common in the lineage of David and his forefathers. If you check very well carefully, I told you Lot betrayed Abraham by saying, let us divide the plot of lands. And hear this, when they said so, Lot was the one who said, let us. So Abraham said, let's divide so there will be peace. And Lot said yes. And Lot divided and Lot chose. By right, Lot does not have the capacity to divide and choose. I was taught that when a child shall meet, when you are before your elders, when you share, the elderly one do what? Choose. But Lot intentionally betrayed Abraham. And I checked my Bible very well. Isaac was betrayed. I didn't even know what I found out. Isaac was betrayed by a friend of Abraham's son. Betrayed Isaac and left Isaac in the desert land and traveled to the land where there is water. But God told Isaac, I will bless you in the land and you shall find water. Even in dry land, Isaac dug and met water. True of us. True of us. True of us. So therefore, there was betrayal in that lineage. Jacob betrayed Esau. And that is how it has been in time immemorials. Betrayal run through their veins. Betrayal run through their blood vessels. If there is no betrayal, they are not complete. But let me say this to you. People don't just betray. I find out that there is greed. Hala greed.
Greed.
Hala greed.
Greed.
Hala greed.
Greed.
Greed is a principal base for betrayal. Greed is a principal base for betrayal. When the thing had not started, there was no interest for it. When the thing had not kicked off, there was no interest for it. Suddenly, greed drives in. What is greed? Want to take what belongs to another and yours, add all together. I want to have them to yourself. So many of us have this character called greed. So many of us have greed in us. And the primary base for greed is envy. The primary grade for greed is envy. What is envy? Looking at someone who does not deserve something as if you deserve it better. What is envy? Looking at someone who does not deserve something as if you deserve it better. So I'll be talking briefly this morning, and Sunday will be just be jumping and shouting, but today I will be talking irrespective of the numbers. So many of us feel there are people better, and we are better than so many people. We envy everything, including slippers. Including slippers. Someone just put on a new clothes, you envy. Even if you know a man's story, that does not classify you know his glory. Envy has eaten the heart of Christians and made them not to think straight. Envy has brought worldliness to the church. Envy brings pride. Genuinely, some rich are not proud. When envy starts coming, that's where pride comes in. I put this to you, over 100% Christian of this my generation, 99.8 envies everything around them. I watched wrestling some time ago. They fought, injured themselves, and I thought they would die. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, after the battle, so there's one wrestler that was always talking about them. He called Brock. I was talking to Brock, like a commentator that afternoon. I was shocked. I badly told that scenario, and I was watching it. And Brock said, "It's only in the ring, me and Marie, we are enemies. Outside the ring, we are not enemies. But if you watch social media, make them feel as if they are worst enemy to each other. And he said, before that wrestling, they ate together in an Ichi. Undertaker was there. He called Great Khali was there and other few persons. All of them eat and marry together. And he said, after we finish it, I'll bruise your ass. They said that in the Ichi before going there. When you see humanity, and you see, I found out one thing. So let me say this to you sincerely. No politician is fighting. No politician is fighting. No presidential candidate is fighting. You are the one fighting. You are the one fighting. Forget what Baba Blue Baba Tinubu is saying. Tinubu will tell you, Atiku is my friend. Atiku is supposed to step down for me because I fought for him too. They always have quarrel and they have when to settle. I told you last week I was watching Toby when he was talking. Toby said, Atiku is my mentor. And Guma said, you say, Thief, now your mentor. He said, you call him so, I don't see him so. In fact, who was one of the strong encouragers who encouraged me to politics? It was Atiku. I can't forget my little beginning. I wanted not to come where I wanted to step down in the governor race. Atiku helped me, supported me, and gave me cash. That's why I won Anambra State. You see, but when you come to the church, the Christian sector, the set of the Christ, the place you call Christ, don't point outside people. The people I'm talking to you. Stop point outside, point yourself. When it comes to Christendom, when it comes to the segment of Christianity, envy, pride, jealousy, and assuming has eaten up the church so terribly. Should I shock you? Should I say this to you? You want to hear this? Sorry, I'm going to deviate a little. Sorry, I don't care what you feel. I don't care if you feel I'm not supposed to say this in church, but don't be offended. I was opportunity to talk to let me use the word an hookup, and I was saying something to her. I said, so if they ask you, they need two girls, what will you do? He said, I will call my friend, my best friends. We'll go and do that together. He said, can I shock you? I said, shock me. He said, my date, my relationship, my guy was dating, said, I don't like me anymore. That I love my friend more. And I told you, you love my friend. He said, you love my friend. He said, you love my friend. If that's what you want, wow. He called our friend and said, my guy, I love you and he wants to marry you. I think the relationship is not working out between two of us. And he gave it to her. That was how they split the relationship. Our friend, he told her, if you leave my guy, I will enjoy you. I love you so much not to lose him. Please take care of him the way I took care of him. Make sure he's happy. He has some naughty character I don't like about him. He has this. But I am angry. The guy said, for real, seriously, I love him, but I don't want to take what belongs to him. He said, no. It did not work out, does not mean we will fight. No. It's my guy. I am not giving it to you. Take. Nigeria here. But if it's Christianity, you see why sin keeps rolling. I've seen guys who gave his own fiancé, his own girl to his friend, so you deserve it more. I've told you how I did that too. I was one first asked Mamso out. Mamso said, you are this noisy person. When they not say you love Mamso, I say you love Mamso, you sure? I know I see you beat up and say, no, you are not the beat man. I said, I don't take that. Mamso, I don't love you. Mamso said, well, I think I like kind of girl. I said, good. Take, I've handed you over. But in Christianity, in this church, you thought I not go ring before. Tomorrow I told him, babe, when you went to his house, did you know you call me babe? Not babe, I call him for president. Oga, not the babe, I call him for president. But make a company why I pay for this church. Why that one no go boss? That guy, I said my love. I said no, you don't take care of my love well. I don't understand. I will slap your eye. He could trust me. The problem of the church lack trust. I'm not debating of what I want to say this morning, but I want to tell you some things. When I found out in the world circle, that's why the world is still united. That's why sin is getting more wider. That's why sin is getting more grand. The reason why the church of the whole, the reason why the death of Pentecost were powerful. They were in one accord. One accord means they share together. They agree, sell off all your property and let us gather the money together. If I say sell off all your property, let's gather the money together, some people will stop church today. Now. I go ahead, I don't know how true it is. How a guy, I'm trying to defend the little before I come back to what I want to say this morning. How a guy took a girl, his serious fiancé, to his house and was making love with her. His friend came in and said, "Can I join you?" He said, "Why, you are free." And they shared one girl. He said, "Seriously?" They not fight. He said, "No." The guy sleep the girl, they talk together. He said, "Don't wait." I said, "They talk to me. They don't marry." I say, "For real?" Sir, is it possible? Will you marry that kind of girl? The world has grown so sinful that sin runs through their vein and they are comfortable. If this is the problem of the church, if one dog fall for each other, the other one fall. Who they fall for will tire to fall. True or false? And they give you idea, they reach your turn, they use to play, they tell me panky ranky. If I get one thing to do, I will tell you again. That's a bitter truth. Envy! Who is that? Is it up to me? Is it my class? Hear this. I love the Muslim for one reason. They are united. They love themselves. Even during this election, the whole war you are hearing is always in this southeast and the south. The northerners are settled. They've already done their inner meeting. Who do we pick in power? This. Okay, so said no. Okay, since people want to vote for P2P, okay, these people can go. They've already organized themselves, know what to do. Now this side, at this point, all these sides are still confused, knowing who to vote for. At this point, all you are hearing is people say, "I no go vote, I go no." Up to this time. I will show you one of the strengths of David. One of his powerful strengths. David's hair will have been cut off many years. I told you that. He will have not reigned this long. He will have not died on the throne. But there was this love among his team, his cartel, that raised him up. I said this in one of the Bible study. I said some great ministries today was not because they were great. It was not because that ministry was powerful. It was because of the cartel around the ministry. And I said this to you. I said every sent man is not perfect. Every sent man. If you listen to Jonah very carefully, you know Jonah does not deserve to be written in the Bible. You know Jonah questioned God. Jonah told God what to do and what not to do. Every sent man is not perfect. As a team, we can win the battle. So I'm coming back to your family pattern. Why this pattern remains? I'm not deviating. I know what I'm saying. Why this pattern remains? I was talking to my friend. I was asking him. There's one pattern we found out in his family, that any people seize money on time and they fall. It goes up and fall. It goes up and fall. And he said yes, that it has come into their mind. How do we conquer this? Do you know what they did? Should I break it down for you? All the 5 brothers came together and said, okay, what will happen is this. Who is rising now? You that is rising, carry the rest people along. When you are falling, if anybody is rising, carry the rest people along. As I'm talking to you, when Ella was rising money, who was holding his money was Ella. When he had 8 million, it was Ella that was holding the money. 15 million, it was Ella. It was Ella that took from his money and bought spider for the other one. They were like cartel, team. Why? They found that one secret, that anyone who rises in the family do what? falls. After a while, it must fall. As it falls, there will be no longer any rich person among them. How do we keep this family going? So what will happen to us is, since if one rise and fall, so anytime one is rising, all we need to do is to do what? Support him, remaining standing. Without jealousy, we are one. And they made a vow that woman will not come in between them. That's why, anytime they are coming to meeting, even when I join them sometimes, they tell their wife to excuse them. All our wife go inside, we don't need you in this meeting. Inside. And they do meeting, and you don't. One day the wife was asking, some day he asked me questions about the meeting of my brothers. Is it your meeting? Do you have the right? And all their wife understood that you can't come in between them. The reason why people fell from number 1 riches to the number 9 or whatever they are today is because at first they were together. You see, united stands, divided to what? 4. I found that this nature. I thank God some sisters are coming to understand it. I found this nature over 100 of hundreds, and I found that there is one sister that are understanding this perspective. Jealousy is common within sisters. They are jealous. Yes, we have a jealous God. I quite understand. I told you, despite God is a jealous God, Satan still visit God and make questions. I hear people say, I have a jealous God. Shut up your mouth very carefully and read your Bible. Job chapter 1 verse 19. Devil came to pay homage to who? To who? What did God ask him? Have you considered my servant? Don't you think it's draft they play there? No, come to think of it. Don't you think they play draft there? Is it not draft? Fall for me, I fall for you. How will devil go to heaven and tell God, God, I came to greet you, and God asked Job, did you see my servant? God asked Satan, sorry. Satan went to visit God and said, God, I come greet you. God said, Satan, how are you now? I have fire then, I have fire I create for you. When they call, he said, oh, they are not moving stage, they are going to go up and down, left and right. Wow. See, they move everywhere. The work not easy. The point create plenty, they increase. So they check everywhere around. You see Job when they why? God, I see. Oh God, I see Job now. They boom, they bounce, they shine. Say, but God, there's what you did I don't like it. You go put fence of fire around Job. The ones that they see no fence and they scatter. You Job and not be pass. He said, you know, you put fence of. Have you considered my servant? Did you hear what God told him? Have you considered my servant Job? You don't look Job matter. I don't look as if God. Not because you bless her, God put fence of fire around her. God, just allow me touch Job, whether Job no curse you, whether you. God say, really? If I remove the fence, if you touch her, you go curse me. God, why? Look Job and I look him wife. Say that bring evidence was his wife. See Job wife. See Job wife. Always complaining, always doing this, always see Job wife. God, look Job wife, Job wife. God said that you get point to Job wife not take my side. So Job said, wife on your side, Job on my side. So how do we know who will win this match? Oh yeah, set up. Say hey. What's the gonna kill her? Oluwawa. Even as Job and Satan and God, they rapport. Satan knows his boundaries. Even in the worldly circle, in the unbeliever world, the world of sin, they know their boundaries. I was shocked when Peter said, I have great respect, I will not be with you. AY brought him live on Facebook, we're watching him. Go type AY live, you see it there. A live with Peter will be. He said, I will not watch you insult article here at war offline, and he left. They called him back. He said, it's my senior man colleague in the field, in the ministry. But yeah, you see a little person because of small money. He forgot his rankings because of small anointing. Because you don't just know Bible where you never start to read. You feel. The reason why power is not in view in this generation is there is this chronic grasp of envy, jealousy. Who is there? Why will it be him? Can I shock you? the big brother you watch today, do you think it is one person that makes the person a winner, or do you think it's your votes are counted? They have allocated it inside him. My candidate must lose, they must vote. Since your own, my own lose, congratulations. They shake themselves. But in church, they end it up in malice, in squeeze of face. No love, no unity, no combined force. When David was about to die, David find out jealousy runs through his head. David find out pride runs through his family lineage. David find out envy is in their blood. That was why David senior son betrayed him and took over the kingship of Israel for 2.5 years. David was inside the forest for 2.5 years. David allowed mosquito to hit him, and they told David, go for war against your son. David said, no, it's my blood. They said, David, go and kill your son who took away the throne from you. David said, no, it's my son. Finally David moved to battle and said, what will happen? We will arm all his army and leave his son alone. We will capture my son alive. We will capture my son alive. We will capture my son alive. I will not watch my seed, neither should my seed be slain. That is the voice of a father. A father preserve his own. I told you this word. Many of you forget you are sitting in the seat of a father. If you cannot preserve the one coming up after you, no one can preserve you. If you cannot preserve the one coming after you, no one can preserve you. Your mistake is you refuse to grow. You are only looking for attention. Myself. I see greediness in Christendom. Everyone want to see myself. Everyone confused, forgot. Everyone neglected the one coming after them. Everyone is myself. God bless me. God bless me. When last did you fast for that brother without telling that brother? When last you made that sister your budget? For 2 weeks I will pray for this sister until he rise. I will not stop praying. I have forgotten my own. I want to pray for him, not because of what you get, not because of money, not because of anything. We will pray for power. We will pray for revival. Sir, revival will not come. Sir, power will not come until we see unity in us. Unity brings forth power. Unity brings forth revival. I don't know if I'm talking to somebody here. Revival will not come. The demonic forces are having more power today. It's because they are united. Unity left the church and went to the demonic world. No matter how the witch love the sister, when you get to Kovu where there is not their blood, not the same mother, the same father, when they say bring your sister, you have no choice but to do what? To do what? Submit to the sister. His blood sister will submit his sister. As powerful as his sister, he will drop it. And guess what? You really want to cry more on the burial day. No matter a ritual is a cultist, someone in demonic court submit his mother. When they say it's your mother, they don't have choice. But do what? They submit. And that day they will be the one to cry more on the burial day. They will buy the most expensive casket. If you can submit your mother, why are you buying an expensive casket? There's no bond that is stronger. Do you know where they let that bond from? Eh? Do you know where they let that bond from? That unity from? Eh? That thing did not come from the word of darkness. Every good and perfect gift coming from who? So they adapt it from Christianity to worldly circle. The world was not in peace. The world was not together. So the world transferred their own unity and war. In the world, Jesus said in the world you need tribulation, argument, fights, destruction. Transfer it back to the church. So now the church is the opposite form of the world. David said, don't touch my son. We will go for this battle. They agreed. But when David landed in the city, close to the war zone palace, He told David, David, we noticed something. The spies he sent. David sent spies to meet Absalom, to kill Absalom. He said, don't kill Absalom, just go and find out his tentacles, everything about him, what is his strength. And they came back and said, David, I think we need to return back in this battle. Ahithophel is the chief advisor to your downfall. Oh, David said, Ahithophel. David pulled his slippers with a bare feet, he ran. David started running. To fight before Ahithophel and his son was not the problem. David knew Ahithophel has told his son that your father will come, but he will not kill you, he will come for you. So if he goes for that battle, the son will kill the father. He said, I need to go back and reschedule this battle. When David was about to die, he brought forth all the personalities that have stood against him, all their blockage. Sir, let me say this to you. Life is not friendly. Let me say this to you. Life is not fair. Let me say this to you. You must have shown love to many. But yet this perspective I'm coming from this morning, not all will love you. There were so many obstacles in David's life. There were so many obstacles in the life of David. There were so many obstacles before David that limited David in his time. So when he came to his time to hand power over to Solomon, David told Solomon, he said, so persons did this to me. Take notes. Never let his hair, gray hair, go back to the grave in peace. He said, this person killed my 2 captains I trusted so much, and used his blood to clean his bed and his sandal. If I say I should explain the word his bed and his sandal, will not put those because I'm watching time. Maybe I'll talk about that part on Sunday. He used his blood to clean his sandal and his bed, and came back for peace. But I promised my captain to avenge their blood. Say, now I am dying. I gave him a fellowship of peace. But in your own time, never let his gray hair go down his grave in peace. Make sure his blood is spilled on the earth. I'm going to explain every part of this I say to you this morning. Every part of it. I will say it before our moral life we are living. On Sunday I'll be talking about demonic forces, how to tackle them. But today, God of time, I'm going to say it before our moral life we are living. Point number 1. Once you notice any form of betrayal and jealousy, don't take it for granted. If someone is not happy when you are rising, smile over it, pretend as if you are with him, or put a dot somewhere. I told you, I can still be laughing with you, I can still be giving you money. Wow, there is a dot somewhere waiting for somebody. It's not a sin, please. It's not a sin. We have turned Christianity into foolishness. And where we are supposed to exercise authority, we stop exercising authority. There are so many of us, we can't speak before some personalities. When they are back, we can say things against them. let me say this to you, is allowed. But anyone who you met speaking horrible things against you, with a fact, be careful of him. Mind what you tell him from that day henceforth. Mind the secret you give to him